Good morning, everyone, and welcome to SSJ at Home, our Monday morning visit with Father Pat. Father Pat, thanks for being with us today. And, yesterday in your homily, you talked about the big feast that you went to in Italy and made it quite clear to us all that there's a big difference between dinners and feasts. In the same way, there's a difference between communities and Eucharistic communities. And I know that we strive to be the latter of those.
Yeah. So, in today's society, we've become so fast-paced, so self-oriented, right? That we don't spend the time to get to know others. I mean, even in our own families, right? And certainly in our communities and all, that our communities become less about groups that really care for each other and more groups that are just share an individual interest, just kind of an association of individuals. And so, particularly in our Catholic theology, it's so important that we form true communities, that we find ways in which we can just get to know each other, care about each other, reach out in that concern. And that's, the time-tested way of doing that, right, is through feast, right? Through just sitting down and dining with others, spending that time to just get to know each other, to chit chat, to share the faith, to do those things. I mean, that's the way Jesus evangelized. So much of his evangelization was just over meals, right? Just sitting down with the tax collectors and the sinners and talking with them and showing them the way. And throughout our Catholic Church history, right, the feast has played such an important part to bring us together as a community. And even before this pandemic started, we've been seeing just because of the fast pace of our society, always trying to get on to the next thing and all, that we've kind of lost that ability to just stop and smell the roses and get to know others in our community and to reach out and care for them. And certainly in the last few months with the pandemic, right? I mean, we've been told not to get together. We've been told to separate, and so it's now more important than ever that we take steps to really try to build that community, first and foremost within our family. A lot of people have expressed a blessing out of this COVID that they have been able to find more time to spend with the family. There's been more family meals. There's been more connection within the family. But then we need to also extend those connections out into our community. And then that's where we've got to be a little more creative. Since the start of the shutdown back in March, we've been promoting our communities to continue to gather virtually, gather over Zoom, technology like this, to just continue to share your faith, to get to know each other, to reach out, to care for each other. The good news is the Archdiocese is starting to allow us to have events here on campus. We're still continuing to work out the protocols, and Gary's getting inundated with requests, but we're looking at a good, safe way that we can do that we can allow people to come back onto campus and do things. So however it is that you meet, we encourage our small communities to continue to meet and grow. If you're not part of a small community, we encourage you to become part of a small community. We have a new program going on, Why Catholic? And here in the flock note, we'll have information about how you can send us your name and all to get ready to participate in the Why Catholic program. We're forming up new small communities. We've got our old small communities ready to go. It's a 6-week program here in the fall to just gather and talk about prayer and what prayer means in our Catholic life. So it's just so important that we just spend some time like that we make time like that to get to know others, to develop that community feel It's fundamental to our Catholic faith.
Given all of the obstacles that have been placed in front of us in what is now approaching 8 months since the beginning of this, how would you say we have done as a church community to continue being a community, even though it's in an altered form?
Oh, I've been blown away by the way people have responded. We see people continuing to try to strive to come together. The way our communities have adopted the Zoom technologies have been on there. I talked to some of the priests from various other parishes and from all around the country, all even outside the country, and it was July or August before they were looking at Zoom and trying to get back together using virtual technology and things. And of course, we were there back in March. What I voiced before, my concern is that there are a lot of us that have continued to kind of grow and bring community, but it is so easy to slip away. It is so easy because of the obstacles to avoid that. And that's where it's important that we as a parish, that we as a community, that all of us continue to reach out to those who might be in jeopardy of slipping away, and to invite them to participate. We've got to all redouble our efforts to continue to invite people to come into our community, to join our communities, to join us in prayer and sharing our faith. That is just so important, so critical, especially as the shutdown from this pandemic drags on.
You mentioned the White Catholic program, and up at the top of today's flock note, you'll see information on how to go to our website to learn more about it, and to also contact Rena Villarreal. So anyone interested in doing that has the resource here today to help you through to find out and to get signed up. Father, finally this morning, will you give us an update on Father Kalis?
Yeah, so Father Kalis on Friday was in contact with someone who tested positive for the COVID virus. So Father Kalis has been quarantining. Good news is he has no symptoms, and he went and took a test on Saturday. The test came out negative. He will continue to quarantine, and we're looking for him to go take another test. Give a few days here before he goes and takes another test. So we're continuing to evaluate the situation, but he's continuing to quarantine himself in his room in the rectory. I'm continuing to avoid contact with him. He's avoiding contact with anyone else. So just in case he has come down with the COVID virus, he's not infecting anyone else. But we will continue to monitor the situation. He'll get retested again, and we'll keep everybody posted as to how he's doing, whether he starts to show some symptoms or if he does test positive. We'll certainly let everyone know, and if something like that happens, we'll take further corrective actions as required.
Okay. I know we have a really busy couple of weeks coming up. What with historical commemorations of when the church began, and also the feast day of Saints Simon and Jude, and the beginning of faith formation, the beginning of White Catholic. Lots to talk about. So I know you'll be back, and you'll be back a few times between now and November to fill us in, and we look forward to it.
All right. We'll see you. Goodbye. Thank you.